got a second Megatron to review today. This one is War for Cybertron Megatron. Again, I think I picked this guy up on eBay. Um, Relatively good price, because he seems quite a popular toy. I was after this one. The United version, the Japanese version, does look a little bit nicer. He's got dark metallic grey on him, and there's a black version, all black, and there's another one in the Rage of Cybertron set, which is it's like this, but it's got a lot more purple, translucent purple and stuff on him. The cannon is like translucent purple. He looks quite Megatron, but quite Galvatron. Um, if he'd had a new head, they could have sold him as Galvatron pretty easily. As this guy is, he's a deluxe, but he's really quite stocky. He's got ginormous feet here, pretty chunky elbows and arms. He's got a bit of light piping. I don't know if you can see that purple coming through there, but the eyes are painted. Um, yeah, I'm only getting the light piping on one eye there. The other one, you can just about see that. The other one is painted over completely, so you can't get any light coming through it. The chest is also clear plastic, but you're not going to get anything coming through that because, well, the rest of the chest behind it. Posability is decent. Up and down at the arms, a little bit of in and out at the arms. The elbows do bend, but it's a weird bend. It comes out completely from his arm, so okay. There's a swivel, but nothing in the hands. You'll see why during the transformation. He's got nothing at the waist. Head is on a. It's not a ball joint. It's just a swivel, but there's a little piece inside there that moves as well, so give him a little back and forward. The legs are on a universal sort of joint there. They don't have a ball joint. They swivel at the knees, and then his feet are on a pretty decent joint that gives them a bit of in and out and a bit back and forth. So you could get him in a nice running pose maybe. Certainly on a few sort of wide-legged, just to make him look even bigger. Cannon comes off. Just a little peg on the arm and a little port on there. Does launch a missile. I don't even know if I have the missile. If I do, it's never been used. Transformation is a little bit complicated, but it's not overly so. You flip this chest piece down, and then you can pop his head in there. And then, probably best to do the arms. I'm sure you pull out the arms. Yeah, you pull them up. They're quite stiff. Let's do the lower arms first. They split apart, and you see the hands in two parts. That's why there's nothing happening with them in robot mode. Fold them together again, and folds down and round. You can actually, I think you're meant to fold them like that, so that it's like two bits, and then it folds round to the side. So then you want to. Does anything happen with this part? No, it doesn't. Then you want to fold the legs up. This back piece you can leave out of the way just now. Fold the legs up like that, and then you can get the arms into position on the sides. And then this bit at the top of his arm unclips, and where does it peg? It pegs like that. pegs like that. So pegs back in on the top, like that. Uh, Flip the treads. Oh no, I've got the treads at this side, right? Flip the treads around like that, and pop the back piece down. So you have to, it's on a double hinge there, so you have to pop it forward a little bit first, and then pop it down, and then you can collapse the legs onto each other, and fold that bit down, and there you go. It definitely feels like I'm doing something wrong. I'm sure I am. I'm not entirely sure what. The waist doesn't swell, does it? I transformed this guy a couple of nights ago and he looked good, and now I have the feeling I'm missing something completely. Now you fold him, yeah, you fold that bit down like that, and then you can stick his cannon in. Now the cannon doesn't go in all that securely on mine. Again, I think it might be because I'm doing something wrong, but there it is. Megatron in his Cybertron tank mode. Uh, you can also flip the tracks, treads down, and that makes him into a sort of hover tank. That's your video game speed mode when you're sprinting as a vehicle. You fire your booster rockets out and change into a hover vehicle, as all of them seem to. But this guy actually has it in his vehicle mode on the toy, which is pretty cool. Um, this mode's not all that, but it does work. It looks the same as the one in the game. But the real plus on this guy is the bot mode. It's very nice. It's maybe a tad small for fitting him in your classics collection as a leader, but it still works fine. It works with the rest of the video game toys, or at least the first wave of them. The Fall of Cybertron ones that came out in the recent generations line. The sound waves maybe just a bit too gigantic to work alongside this guy. But then by that game, I think Megatron looked a little bit different, looked a little bit more spiky anyway, so it's not too much to worry about. Your shoulders are far too tight there, Megatron. Uh, yeah, very nice in his bot mode. It's not a huge amount of posability or range of motion, but what you can get does make him look pretty badass. The few different sort of poses you get, you can have him charging at someone with his cannon, sort of, There's add-on kits for him. I haven't got any. I'm probably not going to. He's fine as he is. I don't need to have loads of extra stuff on him. He's absolutely fine as he is. He's red paint on him is dark red, but it's quite metallic. There's like a little metallic shine to him. So that helps bring out a little bit to him. The purple on the legs there, and on the chest also makes him look a bit more like the game where they had energy glowing inside them. He's worth buying, especially if you want like a Cybertron version Megatron. He's fairly posable. His size is pretty good. Let me see what I've got to compare him to. There's Fall of Cybertron Ultra Magnus, since I had him kicking about. He's a lot taller, and you can see next to even the Optimus Prime from that set, he's still pretty big. Um, they're probably about the same height, but this guy looks a lot bigger just because he's wider, he's chunkier in his proportions. Uh, There's the arms working a bit better. Um, yeah, I would say if you're going to get them, the United version is probably the best one. Uh, the Fall Cybertron one that I've got here is nice, but the Rage over Cybertron one, if you're looking for like a Galvatron, probably be the way to go. Since Classics Galvatron, it's not worth buying. Um, or obviously you can go the third party route. I don't have any third party Megatrons, but I do have a couple more non G1y Megatrons that I'll be popping out over the next couple of days. And that should be all the Megatrons I have. Should be getting reviewed. Thanks.